Okay, in this session, I will go through and review the basic input, output, and string formatting in Python. Just like any other programs we have learned before, using Python, the user can input data into the Python console, and also the console or the program can display the result back to the user. Typically, the input can come from the keyboard or from some other external source like the file or some other maybe database. Output can be displayed directly to the console and also to the screen via the GUI or again to some other external source. But usually, we input the data to the program, and it will display it to the console. That's very common. Okay, let's say the input from the keyboard. The input function. Input function reads a line of input from the keyboard. The syntax is something like this. Input, inside there is an optional argument, prompt. When the user type this function, the program will pauses in the execution will pauses to allow user to type in a line of input from the keyboard. Once the user finish typing and click the enter button, all the characters are read into the the computer and return as a string. This prompt is optional, as I said, and this is the example how to use the input function. Let's see an example here. Name input hi. Then hi is the prompt for us to type the information. Okay, here is Jane. So now we can see the name variable has been assigned with the Jim value. This is how we use the input to type the information using the keyboard. Another important thing is usually we want to output some information to the console. Here we will use a function, print function. Print can be used to print the variables, the strings, anything you want to print out to the console to show to the user. For example, this is the example. I print 3 string variables here. Okay, when we use the print function, there is a few things we should notice. First, the print can take a few additional arguments that can control the format of the output. Basically, this means you can determine and make a finer control of the format for output. The additional arguments have to be written in this format, like a keyword equals to a certain value. Also, the keyword arguments must be passed at the end of the print function. Let's see the commonly used keyword arguments for print. The first one is the separation, SEP. By default, when we print several string variables, string parameters, there is the space character between different variables. But sometimes we may want to replace that space character with some specified or interested character. So we can write the print in this way. For example, if I type this line of code, print my name XU SEP equals to the short line, then the output will be something like this. Let's see the default. For example, if I print my name, we can see the between two strings, the space character is inserted. But if we type this one, SAP equals to star, something like this, we can change the connections between multiple string variables. The second keyword argument is AND. This argument is used to control the ending output of the print function. For example, if we print this, if we type this line of code, my name is, the AND will be this symbol, and then this is another printing function. You can control the AND of your print out output by this keyword. The other two arguments are related to the output stream keyword. The first is the file equals to a certain stream. By default, print sends its output to a default stream called system's standard output, SYS stdout. By using this keyword, we can make the changes for the output to be sent to an alternate stream. And another keyword is the flash. Basically, print when we use the print function, by default it buffers its output and only writes to the output stream intermittently. However, sometimes we may want to force the output stream to be flashed with each print. These two, I think we don't use too much in my experience. So here you just need to know we can have these two more keyword arguments for print function. Later in the file input output session, I will explain more about this stream concept in Python. Okay, one of the important things when we use the print function is how can we format the string output. Usually we want to make some string output which is inserted with some variable names. So how can I do this? We can use the string modular operator. This is very useful operator during the programming. This is the syntax format. The format string can contain one or more conversion specifiers, and the value just some variables that we want to insert it and in place of the conversion specifiers. First, let's see this example. Assume I want to print this line of string. 5 bananas cost $1.74. We have some. Sorry, this should be 5. Yeah. So here, we want to replace this format string specifiers with these parameter values. Correspondingly, this modular d correspond to this integer 5, and this ice correspond to the string parameter string variable bananas, and this two part 2f correspond to this floating number. So this is the form. This is I used to format the string, and this one is the modular operator. Here, inside this tuple are 3 values. We want to insert them into the string. Here, we can see the first part for if we want to format the string. The first part we should notice and we should learn is the how can we format the string. There are different conversion specifiers that are used for formatting the string. A common conversion specifier may include these components. The first one, definitely is the conversion specifier. The modular is, the modular operator. It's not a modular operator, but it's here we call it a conversion specifier. This is compulsory. The other 4 components like flex, width, precision, tab, they are optional. But if you want to make a final control for your output, you want to control it into some specific format you want, you need to learn and use these components. Like the first one, flex, it indicates one or more flex that exert final control over formatting. And the width, this is very intuitive. It specifies the minimum width of the formatted result. Precision, also very intuitive, determines the length of and precision of floating point or string output. Tab indicates the type of conversion to be performed. In the following a few slides, I will introduce these 4 components in the detail. First, let's see the conversion type. We know in Python, just like any programming language, there are different types of the data object. So when we want to print or output some formatted string, we need to correspondingly select the correct type, that correspond to the value we want to insert. Here, for example, the DIU, they are used with the decimal integer. Basically, to my experience, these 3 conversion type DIU, they are functionally equivalent. And X, the hexadecimal integer, O, the octal integer. Here, because for the hexadecimal integer, we need to use the letters, the letters A, B, C, D, E, to represent the number. So it has lowercase and uppercase X here. But for octal integer, because we, the number just from the number, we don't use any letter to represent the number, so just the lowercase O here. And this is a floating point, and E corresponds to the exponential. Here, G, this is very a little difficult to understand. It corresponds to either floating point or exponential, and the output format will be determined automatically based on some criteria. Here I wrote it here. G choose between floating point or exponential output, depending the magnitude of the exponent and the value specified for the precision. And you can try by yourself to test, how they automatically determine the formatted string output for the floating point or the exponential. C is just the single character. When we want to output a single character, we can use the type specifier C. SRA, these three correspond to the string format. Lastly, this is correspond to the single this modular symbol. If you want to output, format output, this symbol, you need to use this type specifier. For this type conversion type specifiers, you can test by yourself to get familiar with how to use them. It's not very difficult, very simple. Okay, another one is the width specifier. This is very simple. The width is used to specify the minimum width of the output field. Basically, by default, if the output usually maybe is shorter than the specified width, now the output will be red justified. For example, I show an example here. We specify the width as four characters, but the output just one number, one character. So now the output before file, there are three space characters, and the file is just red justified. The third argument we want to talk is the precision specifier. Precision mainly affects the floating point, exponential, and string conversion types. For the floating types, it determines the number of digits after the decimal point. That is the precision for the floating point. For the G types, it determines the total number of significant digits before and after the decimal point. The significant digits means it determines the value of the value. For SR and A types, string value is just truncated to the length specified precision. Here I show three examples. First, for this one, if we use like this one, part 1G, the precision is 1, so now we display this number using the exponential number, because we only want to the precision is only 1, so the significant digits is just 1. So in this case, this number will be printed as this one. And for this one, for this two, we want to try display the strings by setting some precision specifier, by using the precision specifier. Basically, this R and S, both are used with the string formatting. But we can see they are different. If we print in this way, like part 3R, the first single code is also printed out, is also counted as a character. But if we printed part 3 as the first single code is not included in the output. This is the difference I know for this between R and S for string formatting. Okay, lastly, we will see the conversion flags. Conversion flags can include the characters which are shown in this table. The first is the pound character. It's used to control if we want to display the base or decimal point for integer or floating point values. 0, the character 0, it controls the pattern of values when the specified width, when the variable is shorter than the specified field width. The short line here, determines the controls the justification of values. when also data shorter than the specified field width. These two, plus and space character, they are used to control the display of leading sign for numerical values. Let's see some. Let's see first is a pound sign. For the octal and hexadecimal conversion text, the pound flag causes the basic information to be included in the formatted output. We know if without using this pound sign, by default, if we want to format output the octal or hexadecimal numbers, there is no basic information. For example, here, if we want to display this 20 into the auto output, using the pound sign, this basic information will be printed out. And for the tabs DIU, the pound sign, just ignored. It doesn't have any impact for the output, And for the floating point values, the pound sign forces the output to always include the decimal point. Like this example, if we want to output to display 45, but if we use the pound sign with one digit precision, the output will be something like this. The decimal point 0. And the zero flag calls the padding with 0 characters when the numeric value is shorter than the specified field width. This is the example. If we want to display 12, but we want to display it, with specified width, with 5 characters. So now, using 0 here, the padding will, 0 will be added and output. The short line flag or the minus symbol flag cause the value to be left justified. We have seen before, by default, if the formatted value is shorter than the specified width, the output is right justified. But if we want to left justified, we can just add this minus flag symbol. Okay, finally, we also can use plus and space flags symbols. The plus flag adds a plus character to the left of a numerical value. By default, there is no sign, for the positive numerical values. For example, here, we want to add a positive sign to the number 5. And also, this is space character. If we write the code like here, there is a space character in front of this file number. But these two flags, they can't be used for negative numerical values because it doesn't have any effect on negative numerical values.